If you have a loved one with substance abuse issues, then you are probably all too familiar with this scenario, which is they call you in a complete panic because they've gotten themselves into a mess and it's all chaotic. It's very urgent, whatever it is. And you got to get them out of trouble, or these really horrible things are going to happen. And it creates a lot of panic in you as well, right? And so immediately you jump into action and you get them out of the chaos, you get them out of the mess. They make a whole lot of promises, as they have done several times before. And you're like, all right, we've got them out of this. They've learned their lesson. Everything kind of starts evening back out. Things are looking good. And it seems like everything's better. And they've gotten whatever lesson that they needed to get. And it's not going to happen anymore. And yet, it consistently keeps happening. And it looks like this. It's sitting here doing this number where it's like, oh my gosh, you got all of these ups and downs. And in the meantime, your anxiety is so high. You are scared to answer the phone. Every time you see an unknown caller, you're afraid of that phone call. You have no idea what's getting ready to happen on the other line, if it's going to erupt into chaos, and it's kind of taking over your life. Does that sound familiar? So here's just a couple of quick tips and things that I go through with the people that I work with on a regular basis. If you have someone that calls you up and they're in a panic and it creates a lot of panic in you, right? First of all, I want you to gather enough information of the context in which they are calling and asking for help, but also realizing that when they're asking for help, what they're also asking for is for you to solve their problems for them. The problems that they've created that you have nothing to do with, their actions, their behaviors have created whatever situation that they are in. So we got to realize that this may not be your problem to solve. But then what I want you to do is find an excuse to get off the phone just for a few minutes, just to collect your thoughts so that you don't go into reactive mode. We can call them back. So it could look something like, hey, I was actually in the middle of something. Let me call you back in 5 or 10 minutes and let's discuss what some of your options are. There is nothing in this world that cannot wait 5 or 10 minutes. And if it is that urgent, if something is in that sense of an emergency, then what you should suggest them to do is call 911, right? If it's not a 911 situation, there is nothing that can't wait 5 or 10 minutes, or even a little bit more time if you feel like you need it. So I want you to get off of the phone and I want you to collect your thoughts. And I want you to think about if this is your problem to solve. How do you want to go about solving it to where you're not solving their problem, but you can offer help? And there is a difference between solving their problem and helping, right? So help can often in these situations look like giving them suggestions for how to get out of the mess that they have created for themselves. Now, I can't always go into every scenario about what you should do if they call you this and what you should do if they call you about that. I'm just giving you a general overview of, for the most part, they've created their problem and they need to figure out how to get out of it. It's the only way they're really actually going to learn. Now, that may mean that they have to get a lot more uncomfortable, and that also will make you a lot more uncomfortable. So, a lot of what I work with people on is how to manage that uncomfortableness, right? Now, you may be looking at me and going, Jen, I don't think you understand what it's like because you're not a parent. And that is absolutely true. I do understand, however, from the other side of it, because I am in long-term recovery, which means that at some point I was doing all of the same things that your loved one was doing, right? I was using a lot of drugs. And these are the things that helped me start breaking my own cycle of creating the mess and the situations that I was in. So I am telling you from a place of a person that has been there that said, this is actually what started a turning point for me in my life. Now, I had to make a lot of decisions in the meantime to actually support myself. There was no guarantee, right? So I can't sit here and say that this is going to work. But if you have any chance of creating a turning point for your loved one, this is an important step for you because we can't keep just doing the same things and solving their problems because we're going to keep getting what we always got if we keep just running in there, and they're going to sit back and go, I don't really have to solve my own problems because mommy and daddy are going to get me out of this mess, right? We don't want to create that kind of thinking and those behaviors anymore. We want to do something different and create a different relationship with them, which also means that you have to stop doing certain things. And so we have to be very clear about how are we going to stop solving their problems, but we also want to help them. And what do those two different things look like? And that's not always very clear. And that's something that I can also really kind of get into with you and help you understand what is the difference and then how to deal with the emotions that you have to experience and how to take care of yourself, because there is a lot of anxiety in this. There is a lot of like, I have no idea what I'm doing, and fear and a lot of just complete overwhelm. How do you manage that for yourself as you're navigating, trying to figure out how to support them? You also have to support yourself. So, if you want to dive a little bit deeper into what does this look like and get some help for yourself because you're tired of doing this number and you want to do something different, then please feel free to reach out to me. This is what I do. You can reach me you can just go to the website, therecoveringfamily.org. There you can figure out how to get into contact with me. There's several different ways. You can just schedule a call with me, a Zoom call. I even give out my phone number. You can call or text that. So however you feel like you want to reach me, just go to that website, therecoveringfamily.org, and we will get you started. And I hope you have a great day.